all year long.
Yeah, Kyra's coming off of a solid outing at Baylor. She threw 4 scoreless innings. She's really going to utilize a fastball, drop ball, mix in a rise ball, and an off speed. And yeah, just really focus on hitting all 4 quadrants of the zone and throwing high velocity.
Starts with a strike here, and you know, we talked about the wind and obviously the flag blowing out. From that perspective, let's talk about it from the hitting side, which obviously you were so prolific at. What is your approach here? Is it to get good contact, to get it up and let the air do its job, or you still have the exact same approach?
For me, pretty much the same approach. I didn't really try to elevate the ball, because when I did try to elevate the ball, I'd get into some bad habits. So I kind of just tried to stick with what's been working. And I also think it depends on what type of pitcher you're facing. If you're facing a rise ball pitcher, it's going to be easier to elevate that ball. So that was always good news for me.
Obviously, again, you know, because you saw a lot of windy days here, there's no doubt that one is fouled for Christian. Count will stay at 1-2. Young lady, as you saw a moment ago, out of Oklahoma City, Westmore High School, one of actually 4 Oklahoma kids that are on the Sugar Bear roster. And Christian trying to get something going early here for her team. The 1-2 barely misses, and the count evens at 2-2. Cowgirls 2-1 in conference, and the Sugar Bears yet to play an open conference season. We'll look at those schedules coming up. And the 2-2 misses there. So good at bat for Christian here to run the count full.
Christian is doing a good job working the count. Exactly what she's supposed to do as a leadoff batter. She's seeing pitches and allowing her team to see what Kyra's throwing and have a better idea what they're going to get when they get up to the plate.
And that one is going to be hit just over the shortstop head, as Bloodsworth could not get her glove up high enough, and so Christian starts with a single for the Sugar Bears. So you look at the defensive lineup for the Cowgirls. First across the bags, here's the way they will line it up. Edwards, Bloodworth, along with Rosie Davis and Godwin at first. Wong behind the plate. Crossing outfield, Tim, Sokolowski, McDonald, and again Kyra Aycock in the circle for the Cowgirls. Another first pitch called strike for Kylie Griffin. We gave you her numbers earlier and talked about this young lady. 9 for 12. As Rachel said last weekend, absolutely terrific weekend for her. And she fouls that one off for strike 2.
Kylie Griffin just seeing the ball so big right now, especially with such a good weekend. Going 9 for 12 is an amazing accomplishment, and we'll see if she can continue that today.
Batting very well, and swung at that one though, and she's going to be called out with the first strikeout of the ball game, as she just came up empty, tried to make contact and missed.
Yeah, Kyra places this ball out on the outer half of the plate in almost the other batter's box, and just gets Kylie Griffin to swing out of the zone.
Griffin was batting .418 prior to that at bat, and so one gone with a runner on here in the top of the first. That'll bring up Tremere Harris for the Sugar Bears, a center fielder. And Kyra falls behind her, 2-0, out of Conway, Arkansas, a hometown girl.
Tremere Harris is a dangerous hitter because she can do it all. She can slap, she can bunt, and she can also hit. So that's really tough to defend.
Preseason All-Sun, unanimous All-Sun selection. There's a called strike. Of course, UCA is in Conway, Arkansas, and so this young lady decided to stay home. And here's the 2-1. Fouls that one back. Count will leave it at 2-2.
Kyra's already doing a great job so far placing her pitches on the outside parts of the plate. I haven't seen a single pitch down full ball over the plate yet, so if she keeps that up, it's going to be very difficult for the Bears to get some offense going.
So let's flip it around. I asked you about the approach as a batter. What about as a pitcher, knowing how much the wind is? Does that alter what you're going to throw here? As that one is chopped. This time Bloodworth able to make the shortstop. The throw is in time, and let's see if they keep it. I thought they might want to review it the way the coach reacted at first, but they will not, and that'll be out number 2. Let's take a look at this one again.
Harris just slaps this ball straight into the ground to the shortstop, Megan Bloodworth, and it's super close at first base, but the Cowgirls able to get that out.
Able to get the second out of the inning. And so I know you didn't pitch, but you think that changes how you approach things here with a windy day like today?
I think it does. I think the pitchers are going to want to keep the ball lower in the zone. Even for drop ball pitchers, when they start elevating that ball, it's going to get scary for them, because it's a lot easier for the batters to elevate that ball, and then the wind will just help them out. So definitely want to keep the ball low in the zone.
Saw the Cowgirls hit it several out earlier. Another Oklahoma product out of Moore is Gracie St. Hilaire, and she will hit that one down the left side for the second strike of her at bat. 1-2 with 2 gone and a runner now at second after the Tremere Harris ground out. Renee Christian did move to second, so they have a runner in scoring position here in the top of the first. Hilaire, the right fielder, and the 1-2 too tall. That's one of those where that ball's coming up, the rise ball can so far out of the zone. If you hit it, that's what even if you hit it up, it may carry a little bit further, but you know you're going to be underneath that. And so if you're going to miss up, miss way up, right? Exactly.
And Kyra throws that pitch really well as just a change of eye level for the batters, because if you're facing a pitcher and you know you're just getting low, you're just seeing pitches below the belt, it's easier for you to kind of tailor your swing to that. So when a pitcher can also offset that and throw an up pitch, it's a lot more beneficial for them.
Yeah, I like that it changes that eye level, and good discipline by St. Hilaire. She is able to draw the walk. Count went full. Takes ball 4, and now 2 runners on for UCA. Runners at first and second with 2 gone, so a little threat by the Sugar Bears here in the top of the first. There's a called strike to the first baseman. That is Morgan Nelson out of Bentonville, Arkansas, a senior, batting .266 on the season.
Morgan Nelson only has 2 home runs so far this year, but she did set a program record last year, so we'll see if she can get going soon here.
Grounded out there for Outnutty. 4-5 on the season, 5.63 ERA, and has pitched nearly 60 innings so far this season.
Julia Petty is coming off of a really good outing against SFA. What is it? Stephen Austin.
Stephen F. Austin.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, she threw a complete game shutout. Only allowed 4 hits that game. She's going to throw in the mid-60s and work more up in the zone with a rise ball.
Well, and you talked about that again. If that's a rise ball pitcher on a windy day, you better be making sure that that ball's moving on you and doesn't sit in that zone, because the Cowgirls have power all the way throughout this lineup, including Talon Edwards, another Moore Oklahoma product in her sophomore season. Played at Southmore High School and is batting .353 on the season. Starts ahead in the count 2-0. Here's the pitch. A little off speed, misses, and the count 3-0. So the Cowgirls trying to do exactly what UCA did, and that is get some runners on here in the first inning, and that's exactly what to do. Is Talon Edwards takes a 4-pitch walk there, and Petty in the circle. So the Cowgirls have a runner on. And she's a threat to steal on the season. Numbers for Talon Edwards, 5 of 6 on stolen bases this season. And Claire Tim takes strike 1. And that one runs off the plate for an even count at 1-1 from Buena Park, California. Claire Tim, sophomore, batting .418 with 3 home runs, and had the big shot in the first game down in Waco. And we talked about the stealing attempts, but it's going to be 5 out of 7. That's a terrific throw by Fisher. It was on the money on the right side of the bag, got there in plenty of time to record the out.
This is a great throw by the catcher, Fisher. She puts it on the right side of the bag, perfect height, and the shortstop is able to easily lay that tag down on Talon Edwards.
Great job by Ojos, too, to hold it in there. Had one hand on it, gloved it, and was able to get the swipe and hold on to it. And there's one gone now here. No base runners now for the Cowgirls, and Tim fouls that one back for strike 2. Tim, the left fielder today. In the circle there is Julia Petty. Central Arkansas has a former Cowgirl, Bailey Runner, who we might see today. That one is hit in the gap, and Tim is on with a single. So the Cowgirls had the walk, got caught stealing, and now they've got a single and another base runner here in the first. Bring up the first baseman, Carly Godwin, for the Cowgirls. Out of Lake Waccamaw, batting .373, 4 home runs on the season, 20 RBI. A big cut and miss, strike 1.
Godwin has been so impressive so far this year. She's just a freshman, but she's already leading the team with 28 hits and with 20 RBIs.
The 0-1 misses 1-1. Lake Waccamaw, North Carolina. Don't laugh at me when I say that. Out of East Columbus High School. You ever been to Lake Waccamaw?
No, I have not.
Have you ever even said the word Lake Waccamaw?
Nope. I don't even want to try.
I kind of want you to, just to have it on record. That's a swing and a miss, and count 1-2. So far, both pitchers have done a good job not letting anything off the ground. We've seen a couple of hits, but nothing in the air so far.
Julia Petty has really bounced back from that 4-pitch walk that she gave up to Talon Edwards. I think her catcher throwing out Talon at second base was a really big confidence boost for her, and she's doing a good job settling into this game.
Yeah, it would be runners at first and second with nobody out. Instead, just a runner at first and 1 out, and here's the 2-2. That one comes inside, and the count runs full, but very big differential in the game situation with those two that I just mentioned, especially this early on the road taking on a top 10 team. And that one misses, and so Godwin will be the 3rd consecutive Cowgirl batter to get on base. A walk for Edwards, got caught stealing, however. Tim got the single, went to second. Now a walk for Godwin, and a couple of walks issued already, and runners at first and second now for the catcher, Caroline Wong, out of Paris, Tennessee, a senior for the Cowgirls. Fouls that one back out of the stadium. No. A fan on the top row reached up, made the catch. And there's 1 strike here to Wong.
I think the key to this game for the pitcher, Julia Petty, is going to be keeping the ball in the zone enough to keep the Cowgirls off the bases and really trying to limit those free passes. But also trying to work ahead so that she can use her rise ball and try to get some swing and misses.
Rise ball went too tall there and got above the glove of Fisher. I'm assuming a wild pitch. And so the runners will move up now, both in scoring position at second and third. Tim at third, Godwin now at second. And Wong's got a couple of RBI opportunities sitting there in front of her. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Both teams with 1 hit. 0-0 score. That one is hit into center field, and what a play by Harris. Able to track it down. The Cowgirls will tag and score at third, so it'll be a sac fly for Wong. And tell you what, that's a great play by Harris, because if she doesn't glove it just in time, that's going to score 2 easily.
Of course, Jameer Harris gets a great read on this line drive. Caroline Wong smoked that ball, and she just goes up and gets it. And like you said, if that ball drops, that's 2 runs easy for the Cowgirls. So good job by her to hold them to just 1.
Great job there again on a line you freeze, and that's what Tim did, was able to go back, tag, and come home, and did that very, very well. So 2 gone. Cowgirls still with 1 in scoring position. That one's hit back up the middle. Harris has it. There's going to be a throw at the plate. It will not be in time. Godwin will score. And Rosie Davis has an RBI single and advances to second on the throw. And the Cowgirls have the same situation. 2 out with a runner at second and a 2-0 lead. Take a look at this one here.
Rosie Davis takes his pitch right back up the middle, and Carly Godwin got a good jump on second base and was able to come around and score, even though that was a pretty good throw home. But I just think she got such a great jump off the bag. And yeah, Rosie Davis able to get the RBI.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a close play at home. It didn't get to Harris very quick. She charged and tried to get it there, but I thought she would it would be a closer play. But a nice job, as you mentioned, by Godwin to read it and get there. And the Cowgirls now have a 2-0 lead, and designated player Michaela Wark comes to the plate for the Cowgirls. And that one is hit to the third base side. Third baseman Griffin able to knock it down, pick it up, make the throw in time to end the inning. But
good snap.
That is not her first rodeo. That is not a rookie move right there. Coach Parsons has done a very good job, and again, coming off a terrific year a year ago. Lost several kids, and you and I were talking. There's not a lot of returners, starters from a year ago.
I think they only have 3 returning starters on this team, so Coach Parsons needed to bring in 5 transfers who I think a good amount of those have made an immediate impact on this team. So just trying to kind of reload from that team program record of winning 45 games last year. And yeah, try to have another successful season.
Lily Hood will lead things off for the Bears here in the top of the second. Lily Hood from Whitehall, Arkansas, UTSA transfer. There are 8 transfers on this team, and Coach obviously went to the portal trying to rebuild this team. That one is hit into right field. Lexi McDonald will get the start in right today for the Cowgirls, makes the play, and 1 gone here in the top of the second inning. You see McDonald's been playing more in left field as of late, but she gets the starts along with Sokolowski, who has also been out in left. She's in center today for the Cowgirls. And Emma Veach from Waxahachie, Texas, a freshman. Trying to build her resume right now as an RBI on the season. Her team trailing at 2-0. Desmond Mason from Waxahachie, Texas, former Oklahoma State Cowboy basketball player, went on to play in the NBA for double-digit years. Waxahachie has produced a lot of great athletes over the years. Kyra Aycock so far has done a great job for Oklahoma State.
She has been doing a really good job getting ahead on these batters. And when you get ahead in the count, the pitcher's able to use more of her pitching arsenal to throw these batters off. She's able to throw pitches out of the zone and try to get them to swing and miss rather than needing to put the ball over the plate.
Cal will stay 1-2 after that one was fouled off by Veach. Again, the designated player. One misses low, and the count will go even at 2-2. Time change since the last time we called a ball game in this venue, so a 6 o'clock start. Has a little different shadow to start. It starts farther towards the circle, But you can see just how dark and deep the contrast is between in the sun and in the shade in a game like this one here in Stillwater.
I think that also means the sun will be in all the fielders' eyes even longer now, so that's bad news.
Nice news there for the Cowgirls at third. Edwards slides over, makes the play look easy, flings to first, and 2 gone here at the top of the second. Great job here by Talon Edwards, making this look very routine.
Talon goes all the way over right in front of Megan Bloodworth and gets that short hop and is able to make a quick throw to first to get that out.
Very nice job there. So 2 gone in the top of 2. And Aycock quick to work here to the shortstop. That is Madison Conley Ohas. And she is behind 0-1. And she stayed back. I'm not sure if she got a hold of that. She did not. So it's from San Jose, California, just a freshman. And the count evens at 1-1. Adding 211 on the season. That one is hit up. Second baseman Davis calls it, makes the play, and 3 gone. And the Cowgirls, he's had a great run here at Oklahoma State. And just getting started. Speaking of just getting started, so is Lexi McDonald out of Silo, Oklahoma, the sophomore in right field today. Batting .318 on the season. Has 1 home run for the Cowgirls this year. The 1-0 misses up, and the count will go to 2-0. Petty's done a pretty good job, held the Cowgirls to a couple of hits, but a couple of walks as well. And Cowgirls are able to scratch a couple across in the bottom half. Trying to add to that lead here. There's a called strike. You guys last year, you were on this Cowgirl staff a year ago. Played Central Arkansas. It was 7-3. You were down 3-0 going into the 4th inning. And I asked you earlier about what you remembered about that game. You remembered your batting average. You remembered exactly what happened. And you remembered Coach G wasn't so happy after the 3rd inning and had a little conversation with you guys.
Yeah, I remember that being a tough game. We did not come out well in that game at all. And Central Arkansas is a very scrappy team. They have a lot of, lefty slappers, girls that just put the ball in play, and they were making our defense work. And that's what makes them so good. It's just they'll never back down, and they consistently put balls in play and make the other team work to get them out. I
watched this broadcast on ESPN Plus last year from Conway, Arkansas, and I remember the game well too. And there's a 3rd strike call, a swing and a miss, I should say, by Lexi McDonald, and there's the first strikeout for Petty.
Yeah, that's what Petty does best. She throws this ball up in the zone, uses her rise ball, and gets Lexi to swing right underneath it for the strikeout. There have been some very good games between the Cowgirls and the Bears over the years. And again, last year was 3-0 Central Arkansas until the Cowgirls scored 4 in the bottom of that inning and ended up winning at 7-3 as Megan Bloodworth flares one into left field, and that'll be a single for the center fielder for the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. That was a good job by Megan Bloodworth. She was very aggressive on the first pitch and able to get under that ball. It was a little low in the zone and just place it perfectly into left field.
Great job there by Bloodworth. Again, the center fielder. She's at first. Cowgirls have another runner on. 3rd hit of the day. By the way, Julia Petty, earlier I erroneously gave credit a wild pitch. It was turned into a passed ball is how it was officially scored. So I apologize to Petty, and both runs unearned because of that switch. And the Cowgirls, again, still up 2-0, though. Doesn't change the game situation to Hayden Sokolowski, the center fielder tonight for the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Sokolowski from Flower Mound, Texas, a sophomore, had a top 10 type of catch in the left field earlier this season, robbed a home run. earning more and more playing time. And the 1-1 misses 2-1. But going back to last year again, of all the games, there was a game you don't even remember playing. You don't even remember playing a team. But when I brought up Central Arkansas, you immediately knew exactly everything. It is kind of interesting how what games, and probably the tougher games are the ones that kind of probably resonate with you.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's funny, some games, like you said, I just have no memory of at all. I couldn't tell you what I did or if we won or lost, most likely even, you know, who we played, any of that. And I don't know why, but some games just stick in my head, and for some reason this one did last year. And yeah, I'm not sure why.
That one got underneath. Ooh, barely caught it. Nelson's glove turned over on her, but Sokolowski is going to pop out on the foul territory on the first base side. And there'll be out number 2. You know, I remember one of the things I do remember about this game a year ago. It was windy in Conway, Arkansas. I remember there was a lot of wind, and it was, again, it was a tough game, gritty game, and these are the kind of games you like to play and be challenged. And Central Arkansas has been able to do that in this series over the years. As Talon Edwards will get her second opportunity today. Got on base with that walk, but then got caught stealing. 5 for 7 in that category on the season now. That one gets past the glove. It hit off of Fisher's glove, then her helmet, and the Cowgirls will move up. Bloodworth will move into scoring position now at second.
Talon Edwards is doing a great job so far in this game, just taking pitches that she doesn't want to swing at. And sometimes it's frustrating as a hitter when you've been up to the plate, you got walked in 4 pitches, and then you're up there for your next at bat. Maybe you're a little eager to swing the bat a little bit, but Talon Edwards doing a great job so far, being patient, waiting for a good pitch to hit.
She's had 7 pitches, not a single strike as of yet. And she is ahead in the count here, 3-0. Let's see if Petty will try to bring one across here. And does Edwards have the green light? She does not, or at least she decided to take one way or the other, and Petty does come right down the middle for the first strike, and the first strike of either at bat for Edwards. So the count 3-1, 2 gone, runner on second base in scoring position, and Edwards fouls that one back into the backstop. Count will go full.
Great hitter's count for Talon Edwards to just take a big hack. Unfortunately, this pitch she's a little bit underneath it, and fouled it off to the left side, but it's always good to get a swing off on a good pitch.
3-2 here again for Edwards. And she reaches for that one and misses for the second strikeout for Petty. Roster turnover, it's been tougher for him this year, but you got to give Coach Parsons a lot of credit for what the program she's built.
Coach Parsons doing such a good job reloading, like we talked about earlier, bringing in transfers and just developing her players to continue to be a successful program going forward.
Kennedy Fisher, the catcher, is the last batter in the lineup, and she hits one to Bloodworth. The shortstop, the throw was in time, and one gone in the top of the third. Kyra Aycock has
now batting the left fielder,
faced 9 batters through 2 1/3. He's done a good job so far here today. And Kylie Griffin, that is not Kylie Griffin, that is Renee Christian. Sorry, we're back to the top of the order here. The left fielder had a single her first time up. And she takes a called strike there. You know, we talked about you talked about a lot of lefties, a lot of slappers here in this lineup using their speed. They want to put things in play and force you to play defense. And so far, the Cowgirls have done exactly that.
Exactly, and that's what's so cool, I think, about the Oklahoma State pitching staff is they do have a lot of drop ball pitchers, so they do rely on their defense a lot, especially their infielders, to make those plays behind them. So when the Cowgirls defense is on point and they're making plays, it's really hard to score.
1 hit so far on the day. Aycock has issued 1 walk as well. Otherwise, ground outs, lined out, ground out, pop out, ground out, and another ground out. Boy, you see the speed though of Christian right there. She was getting down the line.
Yeah, Christian hits this ball pretty hard at the second baseman, and she has to hustle to make that play, even though it was, you know, it was a little bit up the middle, but she was pretty close, pretty shallow, and hit the ball hard, but she still needed to rush to make that play because Christian is so fast.
It's what that speed does is it speeds up your defense, and if you bobble, it's done. She's there, but good clean job by Rosie to not allow the bobble, and makes the throw, and 2 gone here, and 1-0 count now to Kylie Griffin, and there it is, 1-2-3 again.
To see such good competitive softball throughout the conference, and I'm really excited for this weekend. We have some good matchups coming up.
It is going to be a good year in the Big 12. Again, this league is losing Texas and Oklahoma as Claire Tim steps back in there, 1 for 1 with that single. But the 4 teams coming in, 3 of the 4 will play softball. The Big 12 added 3 this year. The only newcomer out of the additions in the Big 12 was Cincinnati that did not play softball. And next year, everybody but Colorado. So Arizona, Arizona State, and Utah all play softball and will be in the league. So you're losing 2, you're adding 3. That puts you at 11 next season. So this league continues to add softball teams. We're still not to 12 yet, though, in the Big 12. We're working on it. 3-0 here for Claire Tim, the left fielder.
I also think for next year it's going to be interesting because I'm not sure if each team is going to be able to play every team in the conference, because now the way it's set up is that every single team gets to play every single team. But I'm not sure if there's going to be enough time in the season next year for that to happen.
Would require 10 conference series, which would be 30 games. And you're right. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see how they decide to do that, and how this league eventually pans out, as that one is foul. Count now full at 3-2. So a 3-0 count now to a full count for Tim. But and we've seen that in all the sports in the Big 12, right? With women's basketball, men's basketball, how many conference games are there going to be? Is there going to be an East-West or a North-South? And so far, you know, Brett Yormark's done a great job of growing this league, marketing this league, and some growing pains, I'm sure, in all of that, but we'll see. And this ball game just changed. What an absolute rocket into right field. Claire Tim, the left fielder, went to right field, and the Cowgirls have a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, Claire Tim with a great at-bat. She had a full count and was able to pull this inside pitch. It was a little elevated so she could get underneath it and put another run on the board for the Cowgirls.
This did not have any wind assist. She just rocketed that ball off that bat, and what a job as it hit squarely on consecutive games to start this season. I don't think they scored first at all in the Baylor series. Obviously, they didn't in game 2 because they lost that ball game 2-0. Had to come back and find a way to win game 1 and game 3. And so back on track with that tonight and scoring with the first 2 in the first inning. Another home run there, and the Cowgirls have a 3-0 lead. Amazing statistic, though. 19 straight games they scored first. And, of course, won most of those ball games. A couple of comeback wins against some good teams, LSU and Georgia, but it's been a really good run for Oklahoma State for this season. And one series in, they will welcome in Central Florida this weekend. As Carly Godwin got the out of the way of that one. The count goes to 2-1. Godwin walked her first time up. And she will have a single to go along with her night of resume, and hits that one into left field as Christian comes on, but not in time.
Carly Godwin does a really good job with that pitch. It was really inside, like almost on the chalk, I would say, and she gets just enough to punch it out into left field and keep the inning momentum going for the Cowgirls after that home run.
So a base runner on after the home run by Tim. Still nobody out. Cowgirls now have 5 hits on the night. And Caroline Wong, the catcher, spins that one back on top of the press box. And out of play for strike one. Beautiful afternoon. Spring is close. It's going to cool down in Stillwater, but it's a beautiful warm afternoon with lots of wind here today, and spring season is all but upon us. See the flag there blowing out, not quite as briskly as it was to start. 80 degrees out there today, and I love it. That one is hit in the gap, and another single. So a home run followed by back-to-back singles, first by Godwin, now Wong, and the Cowgirls have base runners at first and second.
Yeah, Caroline Wong kind of doing the same thing as Carly Godwin. That pitch was on the inside half, and she gets just enough to put it through the 5-6 hole.
That'll bring up Rosie Davis, who was a hero against Wichita State, and we're going to have a pitching change, it would appear, and we will talk about that young lady coming up here in just a little.
Arkansas, you know, getting more innings, and I think she's going to try to focus on getting ahead of these Oklahoma State hitters. She's going to throw, similar to Julia Petty, a rise ball and working an off speed as well.
She has the most innings of work for Central Arkansas on the season, and she faces Rosie Davis here, who's got a single, an RBI single at that, and runners at first and second. Back-to-back singles. Davis could help herself out, and she does. Another single. Boy, the Cowgirls right now are finding that gap between third and short, and they're just wearing it out.
Yeah, another single through the 5-6 hole. The Cowgirls are just getting around on that inside pitch and just doing just enough to put it through the 5-6 hole, and they're taking advantage of those inside pitches that they're getting.
So a home run and back-to-back singles have loaded it up for the Cowgirls in the bottom of the third, and that'll bring up the designated player, Michaela Wark, and she takes strike one. Wark grounded out to third, so she also hit that direction her first time up. Has a chance to really blow this one open if she can get one out of the infield. And she does, and the center fielder Harris able to make the play. They will tag, no throw at home. That'll hold everybody at second and third, but coming in is Carly Godwin for the second run of the inning for Oklahoma State.
Kayla Wark does a good job with this pitch, gets it right out to center field, hits it really hard, and the center fielder's deep enough to allow Carly Godwin to score easily from third.
So the Cowgirls able to get another run across, then still have runners at first and second, and one gone. Second sac fly we've seen today for the Cowgirls. Second time we've seen them tag up from third. And the Cowgirls. Now we got conversation as Coach Jenny Parsons is going to come over and going to talk things over with the home plate umpire. Not sure what that was about, but whatever it was, we'll bring a conversation to the Cowgirl dugout. And it's not to the Cowgirl dugout. It's something over there fan-wise. I don't think that's into the review booth. Not sure what that conversation is, but they converse with Kenny G on the way by, say nice glasses. Must have got those in Vail. So not sure what that conversation is, but it's continuing to stop play, and now the home plate umpire will get everybody revved up and going again. So back to it here. One gone, runners at first and second for Lexi McDonald, the right fielder. And she takes ball one. Batting .304, had the strikeout her first time up. Batting seventh for the Cowgirls tonight. Off speed, misses, 2-0. Well, Conway's only about 5 hours from Stillwater, Oklahoma, but when you've played a lot of softball and you played a couple, 3 hours, the time you get on the road, it's 1, 2 in the morning when you get back. And sometimes these regional games can be tougher than some of the other games you might take, as there's a called strike. You remember the game. Do you remember the drive home?
I remember it being very long. You say it's only like 5 hours, but it feels so much longer for some reason. And I think we've been down there 2 or 3 times since I've been here, so it has been not fun.
And 2-1 misses. Count goes to 3-1. And I'm just thinking about, this one. It takes a little while, and by the time you get fed, get on the bus, everybody gets the equipment, you start taking off, and I mean, it's going to be 9 o'clock or so, and again, that's going to be a 2 a.m. arrival. 3-1. Foul back. 3-2 now. Full count here for Lexi McDonald. It's been a really good one, as I said, though, for Coach Parson. She was an assistant coach there at UCA, associate head coach, and now the head coach. And that one is hit into left. Harris there in time for out number 2. And I'll tell you what, Harris has read it well off the bat. She's fought the wind well, and she has obviously got tremendous speed. Has made some really nice plays in center field.
Yeah, for sure. And that was a great pitch by Bailey Runner. This is an off-speed pitch. It was low in the zone, probably not even a strike, but she gets Lexi McDonald to swing at it and gets the out easily.
It's 2 gone. Still have runners at first and second. The Cowgirls scored 2 in the bottom of the first. Now 2 here in the bottom of the third for that 4-0 lead. And that one is hit back to short. And the shortstop slipped as she threw it. That is Ohas, but she is able to, for the baseball team going back to 1994. Our heartfelt prayers and thoughts going to the UCA Bear family and to the Lamb family. And, Rachel, fortunately, I don't think you've had any of those sort of things happen. But, boy, at Oklahoma State, we've seen some of those things. And, there's no blueprint as to how a team can handle those sorts of things. But you fight through it. And the great thing about athletics is athletics can be that distraction for these young people that will allow them to just go do something normal, something that might take their mind off of it a little bit, as hard as it may be at times, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it must be very difficult for the staff and all the girls on the team. But as you said, playing softball, doing what they love, I'm sure is helping them get through such a hard time. And I'm sure they're all coming together as a family even more now. Absolutely.
Those sorts of things galvanize you. And again, our prayers and thoughts go out to the Lamb family and to the Central Arkansas Bears as we are back to it here. And 1 gone. Tremere Harris, the center fielder, grounds out for out 1. And that brings up Gracie St. Hilaire, the right fielder. And the count evens at 1-1 to her. Cowgirls again able to get a couple across in the first and the third, and UCA trying to chip away back at this here as that one is hit into left field. Tim immediately back, gets underneath it, camps out and makes the catch for out 2.
Yeah, Kyra Aycock out there is just making it look so easy. She's getting ahead on these batters, throwing all of her pitches around the zone, not leaving anything too good over the plate, but also not giving up very many walks. So she's doing a great job so far.
And let's give you a couple of changes. So I apologize. That is now Sokolowski who is in left, and she will race to that single. That is hit by Morgan Nelson. So Sokolowski is in left field. Warsip goes to center field, and Claire Tim now in right field for the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. So the Cowgirls, an opportunity here. You're up 4-0. You feel good about this game, and here's a chance for you to, again, try different kids in different positions and be able to maybe even play some kids that don't play as much and see how they handle the situation, as we've got a pinch runner here as well. But good opportunity for Kenny Gajewski to kind of to toy with the roster a little bit.
There are so many talented athletes on the Cowgirl team, especially in the outfield. So it's been really interesting to see how Coach G mixes up that outfield every game. It seems to be different, and it's been so fun to see every single one of them step up out there and make a difference when they're in the lineup.
And again, lots of conversation between he and his new pitching coach, Carrie Everly, and his new hitting coach, Vanessa Shippey, as that one is hit. That is Lily Hood, and great job by Bloodworth to get back there and make the catch on the fly, and the Cowgirls are out of the inning. It's 4-0. The Cowgirls lead it. We move to the bottom half of the fourth. This is
Full time, because you know both these teams can hit.
Well, yeah, again, Texas out-hit LSU, but LSU won in the category that matters the most with the score, and back to it here. Cowgirls trying to continue their day and their offensive effort. Cowgirls have Sokolowski back in there. The now left fielder was playing right center field, now in left field. And she's ahead 1-0. The off speed in there for a called strike.
As we kind of mentioned earlier, Hayden Sokolowski is one of those people who's competing for a consistent role in the outfield, and she only has 18 at-bats so far registered in the season, but she's hitting .389, so she's definitely making the most out of those opportunities.
And takes ball 2 there. Count goes to 2-1. Facing her old teammate, Bailey Runner, who transferred to UCA after spending time at Oklahoma State. I mentioned this earlier, but this is a team that has 8 transfers as UCA, 4 Oklahomans. As Sokolowski hits that one, it's deflected off of Griffin's hands. It'll roll over to the shortstop, Ohas, but that's going to be a hit for Sokolowski.
Kylie Griffin made a really good effort on that play in the 5-6 hole. I think that was the only shot they really had to get Sokolowski out at first, because if she does glove that and, you know, pop up and make that throw, they have a shot. But I think if it goes back to the shortstop so deep in the 5-6 hole, it's going to be a base hit anyway. So really good effort by her on that play.
Just couldn't quite get it into the glove, and so Cowgirls have a runner at first, and Talon Edwards will lay down the bunt. And she is going to be safe, and nobody's at third. Great base running by Sokolowski. She comes in, slides in feet first, and the Cowgirls now have runners at first and third.
That's always the best case scenario when, you know, you can kind of catch the defense sleeping and get all the way to third on a sacrifice bunt and be safe at first. So best situation here.
Somebody's got to stay and cover third in that spot, right? Or somebody's got to be there, but nobody was home, and the Cowgirls take advantage of it. That's a great recognition by Sokolowski, as you said. The took advantage of it there, and here is the home run hitter herself, Claire Tim, although she showed bunt, and Edwards will steal second, and the runners have now advanced to second and third for Tim, who is 2 for 2, including that huge home run a moment ago. That home run, it seems a while ago, but it was actually last inning.
Claire is seeing the ball so big right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if Central Arkansas tries to pitch around her. They do have first base open right now. Not a bad idea to put her on, although the hitters coming in behind Claire Tim are also very dangerous. So a tricky situation for Bailey Runner and the Central Arkansas defense. So
hard to pitch around because Godwin's in the 3-hole and Wong in the 4. I mean, you're going to potentially load them for the biggest hitters, and it's hard to pitch around this Oklahoma State team. I want you to explain, and I certainly know what you mean, but I've never sat in that dugout or in that batter's box during a game. The ball is so big. You know, again, you as a prolific hitter, truly did it seem like you could not miss that bat found it and you just, or did it really feel like at times you were hitting a beach ball? As that one is taken by Ohas, and the throw is not in time. So that's probably going to be an error for Timms, but another run will score, and the Cowgirls put another one across. Let's take another look at this one.
Claire Claire Tim was 3-0 on this count. She must have really liked this pitch. She hits it pretty hard towards the shortstop and is able to leg it out after the bobble and score a run. So a win-win situation for the Cowgirls.
So the Cowgirls have runners at first and second, nobody out, and Carly Godwin, as we talked about, as you see, Connolly O'Haas, who just bobbled it just enough that couldn't make the throw in time. And they're calling that, giving her credit for the hit. We'll see if they end up changing that to an error. But I want to go back. I mean, a beach ball, right? I mean, how does it feel when you have got the confidence? You've hit 9 out of 12 in a weekend. What does that confidence do for your vision? Right.
There are times when you're at the plate, and I think a big part of it is just your confidence and knowing that your swing is working so well right now, and there's just times you're up there and you think you can hit every single pitch you see, and that's kind of what I mean by seeing the ball big. And it seems like every ball you swing at, you're squaring up. So Claire Tim's definitely been squaring up a lot of balls lately, so I'm sure that's kind of her mindset right now.
She squared up that one that went into the off the scoreboard earlier. That is for sure, as Bailey Runner pitches. They had a throwaway pitch at the 0-2, and that one way off the plate to Godwin. So the count now 1-2. Godwin 1 for 1 with the walk. And continues to have a chance to really start to seal the fate in this one as that off speed misses. Count evens at 2-2.
Another big opportunity here for Carly Godwin to pick up some more RBIs. She already has 20 so far this year, so a good opportunity for her to get 2 more.
And that one is going to be hit and not handled by Griffin. Griffin's been playing really, really well, but she struggled right there. The Cowgirls have moved the runners over. RBIs with a single. That's really what you ought to be hunting right now.
All she really has to do is put this ball past the infield. The infield scooted in right now. They're going for that out at home. So if she can just get something past them, you know that they're going to score at least 1 run, maybe 2. And even if she can get a fly ball into the outfield, we're going to get 1 run. So trying to play team offense here, not get too big and try to elevate the ball.
Cowgirls have already had 2 sac flies that have scored 2 runs from third in this game. And another situation possibly for that here, but and as you mentioned, Wong would like to get one through the infield, and Runner being very careful with it right here. Pitched her inside and high, and the count goes to 2-0. Here is the 2-0 off speed, and it's there for a strike.
Good take by Caroline Wong. You never want to swing at an off-speed pitch when you're in a hitter's count 2-0 unless you're sitting that. So really good take by her to let that one go and not get herself out.
That one is kind of a defensive swing. They can't make the throw home, so they'll get the out at first. And the Cowgirls will get the score as Talon Edwards comes home, and the Cowgirls lead at 6-0. So 2 gone. Try that again. 1 gone. Runners at second and third, but another run across for the Cowgirls.
This was a slow chopper to the second baseman. Even though she was playing shallow, it would have been a bang-bang play at home. So probably safer for her to get that out at first, considering they had none at the time. So a good play by the second baseman, but I'm sure they're bummed they didn't get that out at home.
Yeah, you got to at least get 1 in this situation, though, and try to limit the damage, and you're right. I mean, Edwards is so fast. She was not going to get her at home, so she had 1 play, and she was able to make it. Speaking of Hood, the second baseman. So 6-0. Now the runners at second and third, 1 out. And Rosie Davis with her opportunity. Off speed, misses. 2-0.
Rosie Davis is another one of those players who, as I mentioned earlier, kind of seeing a beach ball at the plate. She's done so well these past couple games. Last week had the walk-off win for the Cowgirls and had some key hits in that conference series against Baylor as well.
2-0, and that one is hit. Another defensive swing, another score for the Cowgirls, and another RBI for Rosie Davis. Rosie Davis has 2 RBIs now in the ball game. She's 2 for 3 and continues to help her team out. That freshman has played extremely well.
Yeah, and credit to Bailey Runner. She's getting these batters to swing at that high inside pitch and hit it off the handle of the bat to get an easy ground ball to their second baseman, Lily Hood.
So that'll bring up Michaela Wark, the designated player. And then off speed, 0-1. Cowgirls have scored 3 here in the bottom of the 4th. And they have a 7-0 lead. Cowgirls have out-hit UCA 10-2. UCA in the first inning had a single and a walk, so they had a couple of base runners early but unable to score. And the Cowgirls have pretty much gone to work ever since.
I'm sure it's tough for Bailey Runner in this situation, facing hitters that she played with last year, because when you play on the same team, you do live at-bats millions of times at practice. So I'm sure it's difficult for her to go at these Oklahoma State hitters who have already seen her pitches a million times.
And that one is ripped right back up the middle, so an RBI single for Wark. And the Cowgirls now at 8-0 as we take a look at Wark's hit.
Yeah, Wark just drives his pitch right back up the middle, does a really good job bringing in that run with 2 outs.
The Cowgirls a very methodical effort here in this ball game, and go with a pinch runner. And that is interesting, you know, there you see Vanessa Shippey, and by the way, that is Taylor Anderson at first. The Cowgirls going to go with a pinch hitter as well. Who, no, she's not, that's right. She went back to the new center fielder. That's exactly right. Warsop is the center fielder. And Warsop is the now hitting for the Cowgirls. The batting .375. You know, Coach said in that last game against Baylor, I looked at Vanessa Shippey and I said, do we need to pinch hit for Bloodworth? And she said, I really like her ABs. I think we need to leave her in there. He said, okay. And he did, and it worked. Again, the trust already between Coach Kenny Gajewski and his younger first-year pitching coach, first-year hitting coach. That's tremendous confidence in them.
Oh, for sure. And I think sometimes, I don't know how these coaches do it, but I think sometimes they just get that gut feeling about a player, about a situation, you know, about the game in that moment, and they just go with it, and it worked out really well. But, yeah, awesome decision by Coach Shippey to leave Megan in.
It worked out. The Cowgirls took 2 of 3 from Baylor. And the Cowgirls trying to finish off Central Arkansas as they put enough runs up on the board to make this a short night, but we'd love to continue to get some good quality at-bats here. Anderson at first, pinch running. Warsop, the new center fielder, in there, batting in the 8th spot for the Cowgirls tonight. And here's a 2-1. She gets that one back to Ohas, and Connolly Ohas makes the throw, and it is season for Ivy Rosenberry. And again, the improvement that she has shown. I got a chance to talk to, again, the first-year head coach, Carrie Everly, first-year pitching coach, Carrie Everly, as the Cowgirls will make a change in right field. And working her way out there is Scotland David, and she will now be in right. But, you know, I got a chance to talk to Carrie Everly, and I talked to her about the improvement of Ivy, and you could just tell how excited she was that Ivy, you know, has been here for a while, needed more innings, has been getting more innings, and has made absolutely the most of it. And when the ball is fouled off of her fastball, everybody better have their head on the swivel, because it is coming off that bat. The exit velo is outstanding, and you better be paying attention.
Exactly. When a pitcher throws so hard and the batter is late, they foul it off still super hard towards the dugout. So everybody better duck when Ivy's pitching, because a lot of these batters are late on her pitches because she throws so hard.
Cowgirls put Scotland David in for Tim, Rosenberry in for Aycock, and Schneidmiller is now behind the dish in for Wong. And the Cowgirls getting a lot of opportunities for other young ladies, and Schneidmiller has had some injuries, but she's now healthy and able to help the Cowgirls out once again. I know they're glad to have her as Rosenberry starts out 3-0 here. And again, you've had such a good game. You've only given up a couple of hits. Really want to finish this thing out right.
Yeah, a good time for the catcher, Schneidmiller, to go out there and talk to Ivy, kind of calm her down a little bit. She's thrown 3 straight balls, which is definitely out of character for her. And you never want to walk the first batter of the inning, so a good time for her to go out there and sort of refocus.
And there's the 4th one. So Emma Veach will draw the leadoff walk. And that's what UCA needs. They need base runners. And let's take a look at this pitch.
It looked like the way that the catcher was set up, it looked like this pitch was meant to be a little more outside. Not a bad pitch, but just not a good
didn't quite
location
get there.
Yeah.
And is that just for fun? As Lexi said, hey, let's just go out there and play catch. Somebody come play catch with me. I don't know that we'll see Lexi, that was a faux pas and a half. Lexi Kilfoyle in this. But we'll see if they actually want to put her in the circle.
Probably just loosening up out there.
Staying warm, right?
Yeah.
In a situation like this, and there's a pitch that is off the plate. So the count 1-1 here for Conley Ohas. Shortstop batting in the 8th spot, popped out her first time up, trying to get something across here. They're down to their final 3 outs is UCA. If they don't get a score, the count 1-2 here. Cowgirls again coming up this weekend will host Central Florida for 3 games.
I'm really excited to see the games this weekend with UCF being new to the Big 12 this year. I think it's going to be really competitive and really fun game.
They got 2 out of 3. They are one of those 2-1 teams, and Conley Ohas is the first strikeout victim for Ivy Rosenberry. So 1 gone, runner on, and we're going to have a pinch hitter here. And we'll have to see who Coach Parsons is going to bring in. I believe that is number 21. If I saw that correctly, that is number 21. That would be Sadie Saul.
Pitching for the Bears, number 21, Sadie Saul.
So Sadie Saul will step in, and she takes ball 1. Sadie Saul out of Pottsville, Arkansas, a junior. She's batting 45 on the season, only 22 at-bats so far this season, and has 1 hit. On 4 walks on the year, and count evens at 1-1 to Saul. That one is hits, and that's a catch, and they double her up. I think they may look at this. I'm not sure that she didn't catch this off the glove in the air, and they called her out, I thought. Let's see what they call here.
It looks like she catches that, but the home plate umpire was signaling safe.
Yeah, so they're going to converse about this. It bounced off the glove, so they get the throw to first in time. The runner moves to second. There are 2 gone, but I'm not sure what the call was, why he's signaling safe. Now they're going to review it, and what may have happened is it was in the glove and they doubled her up, but it looked to me like it came off the turf. I don't know about what you saw live, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, it's close. I think it's worth taking another look at. This is kind of a tricky situation because the runner is going and one umpire is saying safe, but if she does catch it, then they get the out at first.
Yeah, so again, she's going off the indication of the umpire.
It looks to me like she got that ball before it hit the ground.
So when live initially, I thought she caught it. Off the first replay that we saw that was at live speed, I thought it ticked off the ground. But I think we're going to have a closer look to be able to see. But I agree with you. I mean, that's a really close call. So let's go back. The runner is told it's off the ground. She's advancing. If it's out and the throw was in time, I mean, that's a double play, right? So
yeah.
Can you tell somebody's up 8-0?
They're all smiling so big in there.
I would love to know, I mean, from right to left, that's Vanessa Shippey, Carrie Everly, Kenny Gajewski, and Cheyenne Factor standing behind them. All of them smiling, and Vanessa Shippey, the one standing behind there now, coming from the pole. But that's a happy staff right now.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure they're super happy with, the pitching tonight has been great. The offense has come through, so nothing really to be mad about.
So when they come back again, what will be interesting is if they do say it was a catch. The home plate umpire said it was not. The runner advances, but they do throw behind her. Either way, there are 2 gone. The question is it a double play and this ball game is over? Again, we have not seen but 1 shot, and still cameras, fixed cameras in the studio or in the stadium are what the umpires get the advantage of as well. You and I can't get any closer to that monitor. It is so close. I mean, it looks like it falls in the web. Nope, they're going to say that it was not. In fact, there's that fixed camera we were talking about. So it does, again, whether it was conclusive or not, they determined that she did not catch it. So the runner is safe at second. There are 2 gone. And now UCA is down to their final out. And Rosenberry, after issuing a walk, now a strikeout and a ground out. And a conversation with Carrie Everly. I asked Carrie if she misses throwing and how much she throws to them in practice. She said, we've got enough managers that are really good throwers. She goes, I really don't have to throw very often.
That's true. We do have so many good people on our staff that can throw BP, and we do have a deep pitching staff as well. So the Cowgirls definitely get a lot of good reps in practice. And even though Carrie Everly is a pro softball pitcher, we don't actually see her throwing that much.
Said she misses it some, but not too much. Into the ball game is another pinch runner. The only young lady for Coach Parsons that is from Kentucky, Russellville, Kentucky. That's Amaya Collier. The freshman will go out to second base. You got the speed now at second, and you got the speed of Christian, which is had the single and nearly had another single, just barely thrown out back in the third. Her third AB of the day, and then she takes ball 1. Terrific atmosphere here for an early spring game in Stillwater. Only going to get better and better as the Big 12 season starts to roll around, and for the Cowgirls it will start this weekend with UCF in town. 1-1 to Christian. Make that 1-2. Left fielder batting .310 on the season. Drawn 6 walks this year. Struck out 9 times. Here's the 1-2. That one skips off the dirt. They throw behind, and good job out there by the Cowgirls to Warsup comes up to make sure you cover the throw. That's why you cover the throw right there, right?
Exactly. That's why we have backup. I'm not really sure why the catcher, Schneidmiller, decided to throw that ball. It seemed like the runner wasn't too far off the base, but at least the center fielder was there.
Just paying attention, and that one is going to be hit over to Bloodworth. Throw in time, and the Cowgirls. The out is confirmed. and the ball game is over. So for Oklahoma State, very clean in the circle, very good day offensively, and got a lot of kids on the field. This is the exact kind of midweek game Kenny Gajewski was looking for.
Exactly. Kyra Aycock did a great job today, kept the Central Arkansas batters completely off balance, and then Ivy came in, closed the door, and the offense did a great job the whole night.
Cowgirls did not allow a run. They out-hit UCA 11-2, and the Cowgirls find a way to get this one done.